What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Clay Moorefield. This is a great conversation presented by Hustlers Market.
Crate Conversations Episode 3. Let's shift the culture on what success actually means. A sit down with hustler Clay Moorefield, who legitimized his hustle by applying lessons he learned from his past to his current present hustle. In this Crate Convo, he speaks on some of the pros and cons of entrepreneurship and touches on topics like shifting the culture on what success actually means.
I would consider myself to be a hustler. The definition of hustler is always going to depend on a person. You ask some people, they might look at it in a negative light. And I was a person that was in that negative lifestyle at one point. They might look at it as a person who's in the streets, dealing drugs. A lot of people consider that hustling. But in my own words, a hustler is a person that's going to go out and get to it. You got a life that you got to provide for, and those that they got people up underneath them. You got people that you got to provide for. And I just feel that a hustler is going to be somebody that's going to go out there and get it, and they're going to provide for themselves, and they're also going to have a plan on providing for those other people that help elevate other people's lives. I think everybody's a hustler. I don't think that someone can say someone isn't a hustler, right? Because a person that's going out and doing a 9 to 5, they're going out and they're providing, they're going out there for a reason, right? They're going out there to provide a life for them, to be able to provide sustenance for themselves and for other people. So I think that everybody in themselves is a hustler. So, I think I've always been a hustler. When I start really going out and providing income for myself, 14. And I'm saying 14 because I had a summer job at 14 years old. But with the first check of summer job, I went out and bought some drugs to hustle with. So the summer job was just to get me enough money so I could go out and purchase a specific amount of drugs. And that's what I did. And I was 14 years old. I've had influences in my life that was positive, and a lot of them were negative. Growing up in the inner city, an area that's not really a high income area or a middle class area, who we look up to a lot of times are the people that got money, right? Because for most African Americans, success is about finances. How much money do you have, right? And the people that I seen that had that lifestyle were drug dealers. They had bunches of money. They had all the women. They had the flashy cars. They had jewelry, and they got all the attention, right? So the things that we're looking at TV and witnessing on television, I seen that in the hood from the guys that was dealing drugs. And it's just sad to say that I was negatively influenced by that. I was an honor student. I was a straight A student almost through K through 12. But at the same time, those individuals that I've seen that was successful in my eyes were the people that sold drugs. The sad part is, right, and this is something that I try to shift the culture on nowadays, is that in the inner city we're not taught to look up to the working man, right? We're not taught to look up to a garbage man or a guy that works for the city that's going out and providing for his family, right? But at the end of the day, these are the people that are the winners, right? They're the people that's going out and providing for their family. Now, granted, everybody got all, social media is involved now. So everybody got a successful perception, right? Meaning that you can come on to social media and be something that you're not, right? You can create a narrative that's not true for yourself. And, we see it, people got all these courses that they're selling people based off of what they feel might have helped them get to that level, right? But there's not that many people that talk about the downside of it. And I just feel that when you're looking at drug dealers and you're looking at the death that comes with it, you're looking at the shootings that come with it, people being paralyzed, going to jail, leaving families and mothers out there to fend for themselves. I think that we will start looking at that lifestyle a little more negatively if people start really talking about that and paying attention to those people that's trying to spread that message. So, so I share my stories that hopefully that it opens some eyes to individuals that's living that lifestyle and understand that it's not, it could be something different. If you're in that lifestyle, have an end goal, right? Have something to end that, because if you have nothing to end at, where's the race going to stop, right? In every race, there's a start and a finish line. We start at one point and we finish at one point. But most of us live in that lifestyle. We don't have an end goal. So we always just we're in a circle. We're chasing our tail over and over again, right? And we never stop until we're dead or we're shot or we're in jail forever, right? So I just hope that the culture gets shifted on who we should really be looking up to. It ain't got to be an entrepreneur who got all the flashy stuff. It could be a working man that's going and providing for his family, being a great father, being a great husband, being a great man in society, or woman, right? It's just not, men. I'm just using that because I'm a man, but man or woman. So I think that we just need to shift the culture on what success actually means. 100%. The
And
street life molded me 100% because the same thing I've done in the streets, I do exactly the same thing legitimately. I get up early, I go to bed late. I was the exact same thing, except now I'm not risking going to prison. I'm just selling legal. I'm a personal trainer. I got 2 clothing lines, a third one on the way, and I have another business that's surrounded by shifting the mindset, providing resources, and educating inner city families that's trying to change the trajectory of their families. I'm a certified personal trainer. The name of my training company is G.O.A.L.S, G.O.A.L.S, Oriented Training. And it's an acronym that stands for Getting on a Lifetime System. That's my main breadwinner. That's the one I've been doing it for 10 years. That's what I started a year after I got out of prison. Um, it's what it is. When I was in prison, I studied a lot. I love to read. And my whole goal was with this training was to elevate individuals in the inner city, because at one time I was a person that was destroying the inner city. So now I'm looking to help rebuild it and help, kind of shift the health and the mindset of those individuals that I've once was destroying. And those people that might have looked up to me and followed in my path, I'm trying to correct it and give them something positive to look up to. So that's my main hustle, personal training. Um, 2, Skndp, Skndp, LLC, and Success Driven. That's a clothing line. Skndp is an acronym that stands for Success Knows Nothing Disrupts Purpose. And the clothing line is designed mainly towards women. There's leggings, there's hoodies, there's sport bras, just a variety of athleisure wear for women. And Success Driven, that's the clothing line that's mainly for men, but kind of unisex. Women they look great in the men's clothing too, so it's kind of unisex. You can find them both at Skndp Community and Apparel. That's the Instagram name, and Facebook is the Skndp Community.
mhm.
The pros of being an entrepreneur is being able to create your own schedule, right? You can create your own schedule and you can create the time that you have for free time. But on the flip side of it, the con is it's a lot of work. It's a whole lot more work than a 9 to 5. It's usually 12 to 16-hour days that you got to put in to make sure that your product or service gets up off the ground. A lot of time we look at the glam and glitter of being an entrepreneur, like what we visually see, but behind all of that visual stuff, there's a grind that's not as pretty as the visuals, right? And we get caught up in that a lot of times. The same way, we got caught up in going into the streets, we saw the glam and glitter of it, but we didn't see the negative side of it, but there's a lot of hours that come up. It's almost, besides not risking going to jail, it's almost identical to what I was doing in the streets. Excessive hours, but I'm building something, right? I'm building a brand, and my motivation is me changing, right? The motivation is me changing, and it's more inward than outward, right? Because at one point, my motivation, I told myself when I came home from prison before, my motivation was my children, right? My children was my motivation to change. And anytime we have an outward factor that's our motivation, there got to be some way that you can connect to that outward factor at all times, right? But when it's inward, it's always with you because it's inside of you, right? And I went back to prison with that outside factor, wanting to change my life for my children. I went back to prison. I made another mistake and went back to prison, right? But once I went back, that was the eye-opening experience for me. Hurting my children again, leaving people out here again, my family and my friends. I was leaving them again by making a bad choice, right? But once I decided to change my mindset and understood that I had to change in order for my life to change, that's what the motivation is for me. And that's why I love what I do right now. And I don't mind getting up at 4 in the morning numerous times out the week to get to the gym and help people change their lives and put in all those countless hours to actually make sure that I don't make those same mistakes that I made again. And I'm not confident about it. I'm confident in myself, but I'm not overconfident, meaning that thinking that I won't make mistakes again because I thought that before and I made mistakes twice. Don't quit. If you got a vision, make it come to life. Connect with professionals that can help you make that vision come to life. A lot of time we try to do things on our own, and when it doesn't work, we just give up, right? Because there's so many of us that got the same ideas, but those that are successful are those that make it happen. They brought it to life. So my advice is to whatever dreams that you got, go for it. If you're a 9 to 5 worker and you want to create something, start it out as a side business. Notice I said side business and not a side hustle, because when something's a side business, we give the amount of attention to it that's needed. When we say it's a side hustle, we kind of get to it when we can, and whatever little money comes from it that we can is just a benefit from us. But when it's a business, we understand that it's something that has to keep going on and on and on, because it's just the wordage. We just change the wordage, but the changing of the words change the way that we hustle for it, right? So just go after it, never quit. And many of us, we quit before it's our moment, right? And you'll never know when it's your moment because most of us quit. If I would have never went that fourth month, my first 3 months of training, I didn't make no money. I made money to pay bills and to pay the guy that I was renting the gym from and to give to the kids. I didn't make no money for myself, but I didn't quit in the 4th month. It was up from then. But if I would have quit at the 3rd month, I wouldn't have made it to the 4th month, and it's been up ever since the 4th month to 10 years later. So just continue to go after it, man, and continue to put the effort and put the money into making your product or service be what it be, and give it to the world, because the world, we all are unique in our own light, right? So just give the world what you got to offer them. And that's my advice for anybody that considers themselves a hustler. Yeah, IG MG underscore second to none. That's 2ND 2NONE, because I'm second to none. You feel me? Facebook Clay Moorefield, and Skndp Community and Apparel. That's on Instagram. That's the clothing line and the community empowerment page.